Twyla Tharp, 1941 to present. Tharp's lineage. She was born in Indiana in 1941 and moved to Rialto, California with her parents when she was 10 and began studying dance at a local studio. After graduating from high school, she went on to attend Pomona College in Claremont and 2 years later was transferred to Barnard. While there, she married a painter, soon divorced, remarried an artist. They had one child together, a son, and unfortunately that marriage also ended in divorce. Around the same time, she began studying ballet with ABT, American Ballet Theater, and modern-based contemporary dance with both Martha Graham and Merce Cunningham. This is a picture of a piece of her choreography called 8 Jelly Rolls, and sometimes she used traditional gender roles in her choreography, and sometimes she kind of confused that. And this picture shows sort of an androgynous treatment of costume where the women and men are both wearing some form of tuxedo. When she was 22, she debuts as a professional dancer in the Paul Taylor Dance Company. 1 year later, she starts her own dance company. This is the early 1970s. In 1973, she choreographs As Time Goes By, one of her most famous pieces. In the 1980s, she starts choreographing for Broadway. One of her first Broadway pieces was called When We Were Young. In the 80s, she shifts away from dancing professionally and focuses instead on choreographing. Those of you that are a fan of the flexed Batma leg, Twyla Tharp could be held responsible for that. So without her, we might not have that movement. This is a picture of her piece called The Upper Room. And she also, like many other famous choreographers, created works for the Alvin Ailey Dance Company, and this is a picture of a piece that she made for them using contact called The Golden Section. And this is the same piece, and in her words, this was the abstraction of pure energy. She branched out on her own in the 80s, and in 1984 she started a series called Baryshnikov by Tharp, which she won 2 Emmys for. In 1987, the Twyla Tharp Dance Company temporarily disbanded, and during this time, she shifts her focus to work with ABT, working primarily with Mikhail Baryshnikov, also with Hubbard Street Dance Company in Chicago. In 1991, she starts dancing again, and she choreographs When Push Comes to Shove, which Baryshnikov stars in. And in 1999 through 2003, her company successfully tours all over the world. Just last year, she creates her 130th work. So she's very much alive and well and continuing to work. This is a picture of Mikhail Baryshnikov in 1991 in her famous piece called When Push Comes to Shove. If she had to be categorized as a style, eclectic, quirky, definitely comes to mind. She's done all kinds of things from ballet to contemporary, baton twirling, focused on music, focused on film. She uses contact work, lifts, sometimes, like I said before, showing traditional gender roles and sometimes challenging them. She's often hired to choreograph for large ballet companies, for television, and for the movies. This is one very traditional gender role treatment in contact, a piece of hers called Opus 111. And this is actually Twyla herself being lifted by 2 male dancers. So she does not shy away from the use of contact work in her piece.